Alright folks, Mr. Thessalonian back here. I want to go through here and show you an invention of mine called the focus pan. I waited to do this video until both I got the patent pending status on this and the tool mold was done for the Plastic Injection Molding Company. So all that's done now, so I can show you how to build one of these yourself out of scrap. What I've got here to start out the project, so I've got some 1/4 inch corrugated screen here, metal screen. This is scrap chunk. I've got a chunk of aluminum that I believe came from a battery box off an RV, because you can see some erosion took place over here on the corner. What I've done on the back side of it, I don't know how clean that's going to be, is I marked my center and I took a string and a nail and I made my circle around it. So I'm going to cut that circle out and I'm going to cut a line down to the center. I have one bolt. I wish it wasn't a sharp bolt, but had a nut and a washer I could use, but this is what I found. So I took this piece of plastic from a window, I drilled a hole in it and created my washer and nut. The other pieces you'll need is one hose clamp, really small, big enough for the nut you're going to use, and a tuna fish can. So let me start cutting all these pieces now that I've showed you this, and when I've got them cut, I'll turn the video on and show you where we're going from there. Alright folks, I'm back here again real quick. I'm going to show you two more parts of this. First of all, that aluminum sheet, this is what it now looks like. So what I've done is I've cut my circle out. I've cut a smaller circle in the center. I've made one cut down the line here so you can see that it's open. To shape this pan, what you'll do is you'll take one side and overlap it the other and fold this pan together like so. You're looking for a shape, something similar to this. It gives you a nice dish. It's not too steep, it's not too shallow. So this is what we're looking for the pan shape. Hopefully you can see that. I'll form this a little bit better, a little more even as I go here. And what I'm going to do now is I'm going to mark a line here so I get my measurement of what size my pan's going to be. I'm going to drill and put some rivets in here. And that'll stay that shape, and I'll show you that when we're done from there. The other part of this is the can. So what I've done here is drilled a hole in the bottom of the can. I don't know if I'm too high for that camera here. I've drilled a hole in the bottom of the can. I've taken my bolt, and on that bolt I've taken a spring. Okay, so I put the spring on the bolt and a nut that's going to fit over it all, kind of acting as a washer. So I'm going to stick that through the bottom of the can like so. There we go. This will be the top side. When we get there, I'll show you this. One washer and the piece of plastic that's going to lock it down. So there's your can piece. That's how you put that together. So all we got left to do is to fold this, put the rivets in it. We'll cut out our screen chunk for the top and we'll attach the can. I'll turn it on when we're ready to go for that. Alright, Mr. Thessalonian back here with the final product of the focus pan, and I just want to show you what it looks like put together here. So this is your focus pan. You can see that piece of screen has been cut in a circle. I actually overlapped that one twice because it was a little weak for what I wanted. So I'm going to take it apart here and I'm going to show you what it looks like. And first of all, I'd like to describe to you why and how this works. You can see the slope of the angle of the pan is very similar to the top side of a normal gold pan. What happens here is instead of having to wash the dirt off the top to find your gold, you fill the pan full of material, you put it underneath the water, and in the same action that you would use just for settling your gold in a normal gold pan, what happens here is that that gold will fall through into this can. Now I'll show you why it stays in there. And do your top nut. I did put a little extra washer on there, so it does take a little bit longer to undo that. Okay, so I'll turn that towards you here. So I've taken my washer and my nut off. Now you unthread your screen out of there. I made this nice and tight so you have to unthread everything. Okay, so there's your screen. It's just a circle. It actually holds against the outside rim here so that it stays in place under the pressure between the can and it. So your can and the screen become the washer and the nut to hold it all onto the gold pan. So the principle behind how this works is this, is that if you notice here, the hole in the gold pan and the size of the can are different sizes. When the gold falls down and through this hole and into the can, let me take the bolt out of here to show you what I'm going to explain. When it falls in, the can lip is sitting high up here on the edge instead of being right here even with the hole. So when this is sitting on there, when the gold falls into the can, when you turn the pan sideways, like say what it is right now, the gold isn't going to rise up and then out the hole. The gold's going to drop down and settle right here against the trap edge created inside the pan. And that's the actual gold trap, so you can tilt the pan over and none of the gold gets out. So when that can's sealed to it, now lots of times what I'll do is I'll take some silicone and put a bead of silicone around this and a piece of tape here so it doesn't stick. I'll put it all together and let the silicone dry so there's a nice seal around the pan so there's nothing getting out of there. The finished products that you'll see on the market here in the next month are going to be made out of the same plastic as a normal gold pan. So you won't see anything different there than what you're normally seeing in a gold pan. The can will actually screw on, and so will the screen on top, so you won't need the bolt in the center. The product is already now done. The tool mold is done, so you'll see this on the market here soon. But if you want to make one yourself and see how well they work, here you go. Here's the plans, and I hope you enjoyed.